So many demons inside of my life, you would thought this was hell. 비 오는 날에는 비 오는 소리 두고 when I locked in the cell. I've been out counting the bill. 아침이 올 때까지 man, cause this is for real. Yeah, this is for real. 꿈에서 나타난 아마 struck up a deal. 아마가 하라고 해서 I still remember that. I lost my way, now I'm running back. Folk in the world, you know I chose to grow. 흑수자인 내 편명이고. You know why they be calling me filthy, right? 아무것도 없는 애한테 건너 that fight. I came from the gutter, now 어쩌면 터져. You speak on my name, duck and take cover. I'm talking payback. 비 흘려 기억해. 나한테 욕을 했던 날 의심했던 조심해. 알겠지 baby. 난 벌어 big stacks. You playing this game, you looking insane, and I think you know that. 돈이 문제라면 my vision is blurred. 내 머릿속 초록색 페이퍼만 gold. 내 목표고 색다른 rhythm of money and flow. 돈이 문제라면 my vision is 2020. Flipping the cash 빨리 털어야지. 아직 하나까지 목은 시작 안 했지. I put my heart in this game.
Everybody and welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the last video that we put up. I know it didn't feature much Kangoo at all, but it was mostly Clio, and I apologise, but it is part of the process and it is necessary. So, Kangoo's on the ramp, and you have no idea how much of a ball ache it was to get on here because the steering column is not, well, the track rod ends are not joined up, so I've had to kick a wheel here, kick the other wheel, backwards, forwards, basically sawing the floor apart, and my back's not going to thank me later, but it is what it is. So, what we're going to do in this video is we're going to be extracting the Kangoo's engine. It's scrap as far as I'm aware. We don't need it, so it might as well be scrap. So this engine unceremoniously will be removed. I don't mind cutting bits of loom and stuff to save time. We don't need it. We don't need any of the loom. So let's get to it. Oh. I bet he's expecting a big beam of light or something, like it's been sent down from heaven. The only thing that's going to heaven is this engine. It's a bit of a monstrosity. It's not the prettiest looking engine in the world, but it is what it is. As I said, it's going to be pretty unceremoniously the way that this thing's going to be taken out of the bay. I'm dreading taking this bonnet off because it leans forward, so all the weight's going that way. There's only me. So I'll go and do 4 13mm bolts. I have literally put some rubber matting down on the floor just in case I have a bit of a whoopsie and end up needing a bonnet. Hopefully I don't damage it too bad if shit hits the fan and it falls on the floor. But I put some lubrication around, some squirt juice, WD-40 or whatever penetrating oil you prefer. I don't want to be snapping any bolts that I need, like slam panel bolts. I've sprayed them, sprayed gearbox mounts, sprayed strut tops. And I've sprayed strut tops because I've been advised to use a full 172 or 182 subframe. I don't think there's any difference, but I've been told to do it, so I haven't got the experience to say, no, I'm going to do it my way, so I'm just going to take the advice I've had and do it said way, because the person who told me to do it has done a shit ton of these, not even 1 or 2, he's done a lot. So the only thing that's going to survive is the steering column. Now I'm going to be using Matilda's subframe, and that has got a notch out of it for a 20 valve turbo conversion. So one day I might get bored and maybe make the van a little bit more spicier, and that will be a big part of that little build. It's a hard job to do, so it's already done. It makes no odds to fit in the F4R engine, but in future, if I want to drop a BAM or an Audi engine in there, I've already done one major little piece to the puzzle. Winning. I underestimated how heavy this bonnet could be. It is probably about 20 to 30 kilos, but when you're holding one side and you're trying to undo the other side, it's flapping around and it's like trying to catch a shark. Anyway, it's off, danger averted. I put some trestles because I didn't want it dropping on the floor. So I lowered some trestles down and let it flap over onto the trestles. So let's get amongst taking everything out of here. I've got some tin snips as I said, I am literally going to cut the living shit out of everything because everything needs to go. Right. This is a T30 Torx, and it's a little cover for the top engine mount. So that's got to come off. The one on the Clio, the top engine mount, the like U-shaped bracket thing which sits on. Good job I don't need that yet. This bracket here, I'm going to use and bolt the Clio engine to it because the one on the Clio is knackered. So what I'll do is I'll put a power flex insert in there. Hope I haven't lost that for good because that's an expensive tool. But yeah, so that's undone now. Start chopping, I suppose. Right, I lifted the van up in the air. I thought it'd be better if I start stripping stuff down underneath so then I'm not up and down all the time. So we're going to start off with the exhaust downpipe, and there's a U-shaped clamp on here. They're like a ball and socket. It sort of acts as a flexi. They're a bit crap, but there's two 13s on there, so we're going to zap them off. Get out. No, I don't want to know. So that's off. Ish. Yeah, as you can see, it allows it to flex, and I've got nuts stuck in the end of the gun. It doesn't help this van underneath is saturated in diesel, and I hate diesel. Right, we're going to undo the back subframe brackets. They're already 13s. We'll save these bolts. Well, I'll undo that one with a ratchet. And that one. What else we got? We got dog bone mount. These are shorter on the diesels. I've got an extra bracket, but in this gearbox is a hole, so it would have fit a Clio with a Clio dog bone mount, but this gearbox is scrap. Not that we would use it anyway, but these are 16 mil, so if I get my ratchet and spanner. We've got a power flex dog bone to go in, so it's a nice little upgrade. Stiffen the engine up a little bit and stop it flapping about. We've undone the nut, well, the brake line. They're 14 mil, so the one that goes to the caliper. Right, you can see, I don't know whether you're seeing, but the engine is now flapping around, which is good. What else can we undo under here? Not too much more, to be fair. It's mostly focused on up top. So all these bolts will be going in our little keeper box, and we'll figure them all out later. So I'm going to get those out. Then we should be back up top. Right, as I mentioned, we're just going to speed this up by chop chop. I mean, you don't have to do it this way. This is totally up to me how I do this, because I don't need any of this stuff whatsoever, because the full Clio looms are going in. So if I can save time, because I don't have a lot of time in between jobs, I'm just going to chop what I don't need off and get it out of Dodge. And that's a big thick ECU cable in here. I'll try not to be too destructive, but I can't promise anything. Like fuel lines can be cut because they'll get replaced. We can leave all that stuff this side, but we're trying to get this engine out as quickly and as efficiently as possible, and that involves just chopping shit out of everything and getting it out of here. Might have to get the I have to get the grinder out on that ECU cable. No, it might undo from the fuse box, but we don't need any of this, so that's now free. You got a white plug, the same as a Clio, for your comms and signal. That's all free now. We can leave this in place, which is your battery ground. Get off. I have cut myself a few times, you could probably imagine, but it's not nothing that I'm not used to. So yeah, there's not too much holding this. There's not as much wires as there is on a Clio, so it shouldn't be too labour intensive on doing everything. I've noticed that on the bottom of the radiator hoses, they're them fixed clamp things which crimp on, and the way to undo them is from the block, well, the head here, the thermostat housing, they are crimp clips, so you squeeze the end, the tabs, and then they should pop off, but they're sort of fixed onto the radiator, so it's odd that there'd be two different ones, but it is what it is. So you've got a blade here, it's cutting the power steering hose. So we're using the Clio's power steering. I think I have, I should have put a tray under here, but I've got plenty of sawdust. Coolant. As I said, you can do this whatever way you want. You could be a lot neater and tidier and take as much time as you want to do this, but I haven't got the time because I'm literally doing this in between jobs. I like to take time out now and again. Once I finish a big job, I like to work on my own projects and give you something a little bit different for content reasons. This is basically like a scrap card extraction. And then there's like the main hose down here, but we need to get the radiator out first. So slam panel's got to come off. Cutting all them's made a right mess of the floor. But when we get the car up in the air, we'll put some sawdust down and we'll clean it up. I could take the lights out, but I'll do that shortly. I can see 110mm, I can't see any others, there might be two. Two 10mm holding the radiator to the slam panel. Like so. Fucked up and made a right mess. It's a good job Paul on the end unit. He's a carpenter and he usually sorts me out with big bags of sawdust from where he's been sawing, and yeah, he's got me out the shit a little bit, but radiator sort of out. See, to chop these bits here. I don't know what I've done with my knife now, so I've been faffing around trying to get all this mess up, but yeah, it can't be far off ready to pull. It's took me probably 20 minutes or something to get to this point, undoing everything from start to finish. A lot quicker if I wasn't filming for you guys, but it's important to me that I film for you because there's no videos out there doing this. So yeah, I'll cut these pipes and it can't be far off ready to pull. Right, headlights, 10 mils. You got one here and one here. Then off they pop. Then you've got a clip. They're a little bit easier than the Clio ones because there's no Xenons to contend with. So you got a pop clip here, and the same as on a Clio, the black plug. Pull that out, and Bob's your uncle. Then you've got inside here is a twist. Then you've got a normal, conventional 3-pin that you pop off there. Then what the fuck is that? Oh, that just pulls out. So you got a 2-pin which pulls out for the side lights. Winning. As you can see, engine hoist is now in situ. So I'm going to pull the other headlight out, put a bit of tension on the engine, and we're going to undo the gearbox mount and the top engine mount. Now the gearbox mount, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 13mm bolts to undo. So you've got one in the strut tower, you've got one at the front of the chassis leg, you got one at the rear of the chassis leg, you got one inside the gearbox mount, and then you got 2 on the actual bush, gearbox bush. Then you've got 2 18s. So you got 118 on the gearbox bush and 118 on the top engine mount. So here's a close-up of the gearbox mount, and at the back there is a 13mm. In the strut top, 13mm. At the front of the inside is a 13mm. Here is a 13mm. There is a 13mm, there is a 13mm, and that is an 18mm. So over to the driver's side. These are 16s, but we're leaving those in. This is also a 16, and this is the one we'll be removing. So we'll undo that because we're reusing this horseshoe mount because it's exactly the same as the Clio one. So we can put a PowerFlex insert which will sit inside here and give us some extra vibrations. We all love that, especially the missuses.
Got me on 10, got me on 10, got me on 10. Did it again, got me on 10, got me on 10, got me on 10, got me on 2 doors in my coupe. I look better under you. Girl, I love you, you my truth. The OJ with that juice, got that magic 32. Tell me what you tryna do. Look, I'm hotter than 10. Check out my phone and you calling again. Pull up outside and you all in the Benz. Keeping it up, I don't need the extends. Running it back and again and again. It is so good, got you telling your friends. You late for work, stuck in traffic again. Do not disturb, now we off of the grid. Who does it better? Did it again, got me on 10, got me on 10, got me on 10, got me on 10. Did it again, got me on 10, got me on 10, got me on 10, got me on. Did it again, got me on 10, got me on 10, got me on 10.
Voila, engine's out. And it is absolutely minging in here. I mean, there's still quite a mess because power steering lines, I've had to cut them because they were snags. We're dropping a non-power steering rack in there or a converted power steering rack. So we might go down the E-Pass route. But it's pretty tidy in here apart from all the shit that's on everything, all the residual grease, dirt, diesel, oil, etc. It's not awful, but the main thing is it's rust-free. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give this bay a bit of a clean up. Makes sense to do that while the engine's out. I'm just figuring out what's what and what's going where. I'm going to be putting ABS on this van. This doesn't have ABS, so I'm going to be changing the brake master cylinder and servo, and it's going to have a 172 or 182. I don't know which one I'm going to use. I'm probably going to use the YouTube Clio for the loom because of the speedo drive. I'm not sure if the speedo drive will work if I put the 182 loom in here with the 172 engine loom, because that's all we've got. So let's give the bay a clean. Right, so that's the engine bay now, degreased, cleaned, but it's a bit off colour, and I'm thinking, while there's no engine in here, it's time for a colour change, and it will be going zinc primer black. Yeah, that's it. Keep it simple, stupid. I'll literally get an aerosol, it's all degreased as I said, and I'm going to blast all this in here black, just to give it a bit of a contrast. So whatever colour engine bay, dress up bits like hoses and stuff, it'll make it pop a little bit better. Plus it'll hide all the dirt and the grime, etc. I mean, this is never ever going to be a show van. I'm trying to build it for under £1,000 bar the engine. So yeah, it's proper budget build. I've got all the bits. I had an engine in stock which I haven't accounted for in this build, because I could add £1,000 on top of its total cost, but that wouldn't be fun with it. So yeah, it's going semi-gloss black. So this thing here is called a Kangoo, and I swear to God, instead of using your finger, you just spray it like a literal spray gun, and it takes most of the effort out. So I advise you get one. I've had this for years and it's a wicked little bit of kit.
I've been wasting my time. I don't know why I can't get you out my mind. And if I find a way to get it, when I do it, I can live it and forget it. Cause I hate how much I love you, or I hate how you just put me in my feelings. I just wish you understood the gravity, but you got low sinners. I guess it's better just to live it and forget it than to live it and remember. I've been wasting my time. I don't know why I can't get you out my mind. Yeah, now I'm so lost, where do I go? I was in a chase, caught a flat on road. It was all love, X no O. I was feeling rich, but we turned out broke. North Pole, life so cold. Lukewarm love, should've took it to the stove. You were bad news, all kind, no pro. We grew apart fast, I guess we was ripping.
That concludes our episode. As you can see, it's all painted, it's all nice, even, and it looks like a fresh part from eBay. So, the reason why we painted epoxy zinc primer is because if we scratch it or whatever, it always comes out really even. So it's a case of just and jobs are good and fit and forget and all that. Obviously we're replacing all these brake lines and stuff. Over here there's like a little section where an ABS pump can go, the same as a Clio, so we don't have to mess around with that. It should be easy to fit. And yeah, that's about it for now. So I'd like to say thanks for watching. Hope you're enjoying these little episodes. I hope you learn a thing or two. We're very close to 1,000 subscribers now, so thanks again, and we hope to see you on the next one, and hopefully it's not too far away. Adios.